Alright, what we got here? Sisters sentenced to prison for, let me go and click on that. Sisters sentenced to prison for a DUI crash that ended the lives of 2 children. One had their head decapitated. What the Renasha Washington and Kalia Manning sobbed in court as they were sentenced for ending the lives of Rose and Taylor, 2 and 3. Washington had sold that's the little girls apparently. Man, that sucks. Washington had sold the car seats just a week before the crash. What the? Manning, who was driving the car, veered off the road and ran into a light pole. Her blood alcohol level after the crash was 0.191. Damn, dude, that's fucking crazy. Washington, the mother, was sentenced to 300. So not the driver. So Manning was the driver. Obviously hugely intoxicated. Washington, the mother, was sentenced to 364 days in jail. And I guess that these are the 2 women in jail and 5 years of probation. Manning, Washington's sister, okay, there you go, was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison. Dude, when are... Like, people bash on black men all the time. All the time. Oh, man, we need more black men to take care of all these kids. You know, why the black men always be leaving? Dude, it's black women, man, that are the fucking... They are a huge issue. They have such a bad mentality of... If I get this guy to get me pregnant, I will get child support. It's all about me. It's all about I will get child support. I will get resources. I will get benefits. And it's not about finding a man, having a kids with that man, and having a family. It's not. Not to black women. They think of it as, oh, it's welfare. I have a kid, I get welfare. And you know what? I'm going to look up some statistics. All right, I found an article here with basically uses the U.S. Census Bureau. It's kind of like 2019 data, so it's not totally up to like 2024 standards. But to be pretty honest, populations don't change. Like demographics don't change that much over a few years. So it'd probably do for this. So number of families with single mothers and fathers in the U.S. by race: white. Single moms, 6.6 million. 6.6 million. African Americans, 4.14. Hispanics at 3.29 for women. That's women only. And so there you go. All right. But what that doesn't take into account is population ratio. So let me look up, like, what's the population of the races. All right. So here's the Census Bureau data from another site, usafacts.org. What was the other website? Financesonline.com. So this one looks like they use data up to like 2022. So I mean, 3 years difference for the gist of like this purposes, not a big deal. Like it'll be roughly on point. And you can see here, white, non-Hispanic. This is how much the population is now. There's a gray circle and a solid circle. And one of the things that they actually do in this chart is kind of talk about the differences between 2010 to 2022. So the gray circle is the 2010 number. You can see right there, Hispanic Latino population in 2010 is 50.7 million. So, and then 2022 is 63.6 million. So that's kind of what you're looking at. But you see how many more white people there are in the U.S. than black people. And black people had a little bit of a bump there for 12 years. And right now, in 2022, they're sitting around 42 million. And for white people in 2022, there's about 196 million. That's a huge difference. So when we take those ratios, let's just figure out the ratio between white and black. So 196, that'll work, and 42. So what's that ratio? What's that multiplier? 196, 42. So it's a 4-point repeating 6 ratio. That is what we are talking about here. So when we go back to the single parent statistic, if we use that multiplier of 4.66666, but we just times it by what was the 414 times 4.14, 19.32. That's how you get a comparable rate. 19.32. So comparing the actual rates to non-white or white non-Hispanic, African American has such, single mothers for African Americans are so much higher, are so freaking much higher for single mothers. That is freaking ridiculous, and it's just a mentality thing. They don't appreciate the family. They look at kids as getting their own, and not so much a building a family. Now, the one thing I would want to know, actually, out of these statistics, is how many of these were never married versus like divorced or widowed or something like that. Let me see if I can find that. So I wasn't really able to find a solid answer. That kind of broke down the whole single and divorce thing for single parents, or married and divorced, or never married or divorced, kind of differentiation between races and ethnicities. The only thing I really find was really this one, among one parent family group, 41% of single fathers were never married, 38% were divorced, compared to 51% of single mothers who were never married, 29% who were divorced. So I went ahead and broke all the stats kind of down into your different rates, right? Basically your different rates. And the thing you'll notice is black women have a 10%. It's up to like 10%. Oh man, that is so discouraging, man. But 10% of basically single parent. I mean, that's 3 times as much as what white women are have. And so, when you talk about like black men are also 3%, which is higher than whites, Hispanics, and Asians. And so, yeah, when you're talking about like black men not contributing, it seems like black men are contributing. It seems like black women, for whatever reason, I think it has a lot to do with it's just a mentality thing about kids, having kids in the black culture, whatever reason that is. And it's not like I'm trying to degrade anybody. I'm just trying to provide some insight, because people keep blaming black men, and it doesn't seem like they're the problem. It's black women. Like, y'all need to get y'all's fucking shit together. People need to stop catering to that bullshit mentality of entitlement, because I think that's a big deal of it.